lovely ladies, I say don't waste your love, your caresses, your tears on villains like me. Save them for someone who's worth it, a faithful, honest man. If you can find one.
And I suggest you remember what you said to me when you asked me to marry you, and repeat it a dozen times.
Ancient history is a bit of a bore, madame.
Give me time, be gentle, someone to whom I could turn. But from the moment I became your wife, you were a different man.
For over a decade, starting in the 40s, costume melodramas were the most successful British films made.
Trying to humiliate me. Things like this happening. You've broken every promise you ever made.
Yes, my dear, I dare say I have broken a few promises. The kind any man makes to get the woman he's after.
To the men, I say, never put your faith in a woman. For however much you may think she loves you, like as not, she'll betray you in the end.
They were a cunning mixture of opulent costumes, stunning sets, and powerful passions.
You must not joke with me. I'm an Italian woman. I could die of love.
I could die without it.
And most of all, they were wonderfully romantic. Audiences have always reacted emotionally towards costume melodramas, where they expected a rattling good story, exciting stars, and an overwhelming visual style. All these are present in The Gypsy and the Gentleman, starring Melina Mercuri. The carriage chase is a thrilling climax. An exotic, highly sensual atmosphere seems to shine from every frame, as in Caravan, with the magnetic Jean Kent. Most of all, there is sheer spectacle. The makers of Hungry Hill trained musicians and dancers for weeks to perfect this scene. But the essence of the plots could always be boiled down to passionate love. Blanche Fury is typical. Stuart Granger and Valerie Hobson, he the gamekeeper, she the lord's wife, are drawn together in a tempestuous affair, one that ultimately leads to murder.
Blanche, you hurt?
No.
Collins, quickly, get the guns. Blanche, rouse the household. Send the men out. There he is.
So far from being a respectable lone widow, you're a strolling player, with a reputation that would not bring discredit to a woman of the streets. And as for this husband whom you so wistfully describe as having passed away in your loving arms, he died of jail fever in the Fleet prison, after you'd deserted him in favor of a more wealthy protector.
You appear to be well informed, my lord.
Was this deception your idea or my wife's?
She thought it better not to mention the stage. The rest I didn't tell her.
I can understand your reticence.
Can you? I know this means I must go. But why should you presume to judge me? You've never known what it is to be a pauper, to see others enjoying the things you know should be yours. I've known it all my life. True, I lied and cheated.
The first romantic film of this period was The Man in Grey. It catapulted to stardom two young actors, James Mason and, of course, Margaret Lockwood, as the woman who will stop at nothing to get what she wants.
I did desert my husband because he was a failure, and I don't intend to fail. No matter how I have to do it or who has to suffer, one day I'll get the things I want. And they won't be doled out to me on charity. And not you nor 100 others like you with your smug, self-satisfied arrogance will stop me. Get out of my way. Let me go. Ah!
Oh, no. I never thought to find a woman with a spirit as ruthless as mine. You take what you want and to the devil with the consequences. So do I.
In her most famous role, Margaret Lockwood played the evil Lady Skelton, the Wicked Lady.
Promise never to leave you alone with her.
You'd believe that slave's brat before me?
Why do you suppose he ran?
Not that she was allowed to get away with it. In one of the most talked-about scenes of its time, James Mason viciously whips Lockwood to death at the close of The Man in Grey. Its power still remains.
You killed my wife.
She was nothing to you. She never loved you. I love you. Rowan! Rowan, listen!
You killed a Rowan. Who dishonors us dies.
You're not going to inform against me. You're not going to let them hang me.
I'll not leave that heritage to my son. But you're not going to escape.
The most effective characters in these films are always the villains. They spend most of their time seducing innocents, like the wild Melina Mercury in The Gypsy and the Gentleman, stalking through the night to corrupt Keith Mitchell and turn him against members of his own family.
I'm not used to sleeping in a room.
It's company you need. Your hair's as black as a witch's shawl. Are you a witch?
The art of seduction, though, was perfected by Dennis Price in The Bad Lord Byron, with Joan Greenwood.
You were somewhat preoccupied, I thought.
I've been more preoccupied since I met you.
A rose and a carnation in February.
I've been told that your ladyship likes everything that is beautiful and rare for the moment.
That is true, for the moment. Tell me, Lord Byron, they say that you're very wicked, that you kept a harem when you were in the East and had a slave girl sewn up into a sack and thrown into the Bosphorus. Is that true?
Not exactly. Sex was so difficult to come by.
They say that you fought many duels and that you always kill your man. Do you deny it?
I would never deny anything to you.
They say that you're mad, bad, and dangerous to know. Is that true, too?
But the most famous and the most ruthless villain of them all was James Mason.
Fetch Mr. Hopwood, James.
Get out of my way.
Sorry, my lord. Mr. Hopwood's orders, my lord.
Are you going to get out of my way, or aren't you?
Sorry, my lord. Here, stop that. You're breaking my arm. Oh!
And I had to keep on telling him to leave go of my hand. Oh, that dandy lad from Delhi, by his manner we could tell he was out for a real good luck.
Mason became a star, playing these sadistic, carefree characters.
Delightful city, isn't it? A city made for adventure. Anything could happen here. One's free from observation, free from criticism. Not like your prim, old-fashioned London, where everything you are and do is remembered against you. Not quite cool enough, I fear, but beautifully alive. In England, we might call it too sweet. But then in England, we don't like things very sweet. Wine or women.
He's a beast. A devil. You rather like devilish men. Oh, Lucy, let's get out of here. Oh, sit down again, silly. They've got no eyes for anyone but each other. Look, he's smiling at her.
In Fanny by Gaslight, he is without a single redeeming feature, yet However outrageously cruel he becomes, he somehow always remained quite charming.
Gratitude for being brought to a place like this.
You always reproach me for not taking you out. This seems the ideal place for you to display your charms. You know how you love doing that.
I don't sell my charms.
Isn't that perhaps because you're uncertain of the market? The only difference between you and these delightful ladies is that they make it their business to please.
Why don't you invite one of them to come over and join us?
That's very nice of you. Which one would you like? Scarlet satin has a certain something, I think, don't you? Or would you prefer the black with spangles?
Jerry, don't you love me at all?
No.
Insane young Hatton behind my back.
However, as the 1947 film Jassy shows, the virtues of pure love always come to the rescue. These films deliberately strive against realism, and more than anything are about love and romanticism. In The Bad Lord Byron, what better a place for Dennis Price and Mai Zetterling to be than Venice?
So we'll go no more a-roving so late into the night, though the heart be still as loving and the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears its sheath, and the soul wears out the breast. The heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a-roving by the light of the moon.
Oriana! So it was you he come to see, not the Seigneur.
As in Caravan, it was the contrasting emotions of love that were examined. Jean Kent is the gypsy, Anne Crawford the restrained and cultured Englishwoman.
How would that help Richard with a price on his head? His name must be cleared, and only you can do that.
So that you can take him away from me?
No. I promise not even to try. But if you love him as I do, you'll do this for him.
Love him? What do you know of love with your cold English ways? A great house like a prison shutting him from the sun. You don't know Ricardo, but I know him. The light in his eyes, the fire of his lips, the strength of his arms. He is mine, I tell you. I love him.
Love? You don't know the meaning of the word. You want him to waste his life living like an outcast? He's a writer. He couldn't do that. He needs freedom. Freedom to travel, to see the world, not to live in some hole in a rock like a hunted animal.
But he is mine, and I shall keep him.
Not unless you clear his name. Because if you refuse, I can, and I will, take him from you.
The accumulation of these various elements builds to some explosive climaxes.
I was right, Francis.
What the devil do you mean? You lay a hand on me, devil, and I'll run you through. I warn you.
I look forward to this, Francis. Send for the police, Rizal. Rizal.
In Madonna of the Seven Moons, this means that the usually quiet Phyllis Calvert is transformed into a murderess.
took to the road. But I wouldn't have killed anybody who hadn't stood in my way.
Killed?
Ned, Hogarth, Jackson, and tonight my husband.
Costume melodramas were also extremely moral, which meant that the wicked Margaret Lockwood must pay for her evil and die a miserable, lonely death.
Don't look like that. It was for you. Don't leave me. Don't leave me alone. Kit! So dark, so cold. Take me in your arms. Hold me close. Kit! Kit, I'm frightened. I don't want to die alone. Don't let me die alone.
Better, Francis. Much better.
Stay where you are.
Not better for you. That was your last shot.
What do you mean?
You've forgotten the shot that killed Rosal, haven't you?
In probably the best film of its type, Caravan, the heroic Stuart Granger gets his revenge on the despicable Dennis Price.
Now, Francis.
The message in these costume dramas is that in the end, the pureness of love triumphs over evil, and the happy couples are at last reunited.
And love.
And as the screen fades to black and the film ends, audiences are left with the melodramatic memories of a passion spent, of a pureness lost.
Goodbye, Madeline, my beloved wife. The memory of our life together will always be with me. I wish I'd made you happier.